Sorry, Alice, I thought you were ready. I just started it.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Here we go. Rain falling across the water. Mist is rising on the mountainside. Leaves are blooming in the ash tree. Robin's looking for something sweet. Where I'm sitting beneath the eaves, not one drop will find me. A little seedling is breaking through, persistent as the thought of you. Looking out into a sea of green, thinking on the years and miles that lie between. It seems so long ago, but you're still on my mind, you know. I go walking through the trees, the water dances over stones. The April morning is clean and new, but a breeze has brought the thought of you. Looking out into a sea of green, thinking on the years and miles that lie between. It seems so long ago, but you're still on my mind, you know. I sat down by the riverside, fearing I could drink it dry and still not be satisfied. The banks are full with all this rain. If they'll overflow, I can't say. The crickets calling in the firelight, and a long and gentle sleep tonight. Looking out into a sea of green, thinking on the years and miles that lie between. It seems so long ago, but you're still on my mind. Yeah, you're still on my mind, you know. You know. Still on my mind, you know.
tell you about my angel, the one you never see, my everyday companion, living deep inside of me. She guides me through the trenches, she gets me out of every mess. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. Well, she leads me on my journey, she leads me to the goal. She's always on the money, never leaves me in the cold. And every time I listen, I wind up being truly blessed. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. I'm at the fork in the road, I gotta make a choice. So much going on, I don't heed her voice, so I'll make a wrong turn. I'm feeling lost and afraid, and I hear my angel calling, recalculate. Well, I gotta pay attention, 'cause it's powerful stuff. I gotta turn it on, and I gotta turn it up. 'Cause every time I do it, you know I'm guaranteed success. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. Play it for me, fellas. You bad boy. Lost and lonely, I'm drifting in the dark. Will I ever find a harbor? I don't see it on the chart. With some saying no, but someone else is whispering yes, yes, yes. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, she's my personal GPS. She's my Bible, she's my buddy, crystal clear and never muddy. She's my Watson, she's my Tano, never tardy, always pronto. She's my Sherpa, she's my guide, never runs and never hides. Truly awesome, she's the best, she's my personal GPS. My personal GPS. She's my personal GPS. Yes, she is. She's my personal GPS. Yes, yes.
The night is louder than it's been before. I hear it knocking on my walls and doors, saying soon enough, it's time to go. But these precious hours, I keep you close. Of all the nights in... Good evening, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Inside Live with Alice and Freebo, and that's Alice, and I'm Freebo, and you know who you are, and it's great to be here, right?
It is. Thanks for joining us again, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, and now if you are listening on the radio at WPVM LP in Asheville, North Carolina, that's at 103.7 on the dial, and globally at WPVM.org. Thank you to the Voice of Asheville for having Inside Live on the radio. We're so happy to be with you.
We sure are. One of my favorite cities. Love Asheville. A lot of friends there. Hi, everybody.
Here goes. suitcase. I put the dishes away. It's not hard to say. If I stop, I'll get caught with the things that I'm not saying to you. I heard you've been traveling. I heard you doing all still save a spot for the things that I'm not saying to you. Yeah, something's messed up with our audio and video. I'm gonna check out what's going on because it's all messed up over there.
Hey, just for you people that listening on the radio, having a couple of technical difficulties here that we're seeing on our screen, so please hang with us. And we will straighten this out. Alice, the engineer, is getting it slowly together. Maybe Brandon. Everything was just fine a couple minutes ago in our sound check.
I'm going to talk to our sound guy.
Hang on, folks. This is live.
Hi, Brandon. Uh-oh. What do you suggest that we do?
Stay with us, folks, while Alice is on the phone. I don't know any jokes.
Okay. Change of plans, y'all. I think that's a good idea, Brandon.
Who's that?
Let's bring in our guest.
Ah.
And let's take the 5 minutes that he plays a song. Let's reboot our system here. So
There we go.
I would like to welcome the amazing...
I can hear some of what you're saying.
I'd like to welcome Seth Glier to the show.
This is a sign of our times. Well, good to be with you. Thanks for. My name is Seth Glier. I'm coming to you from Western Massachusetts, and while they figure this out, I'll play a song. Throw the reverb on. Since the dawn of time, it's been going down. We've been pushing seeds into the ground, growing a garden of hypocrisy. The founding fathers found nothing wrong with saying everyone belongs while taking part in the sin of slavery. The soil still stained with blood, buried in the mud. There's poison in the roots, poison in the roots. Oh, there's gonna be poison in the fruit. There's poison in the roots, poison in the roots. Oh, there's gonna be poison in the fruit. Still living in the land where money talks. The poor man begs as the rich man walks on the backs of the worker bees he's keeping down. And we're all slaves to our appetite. One more for less, we want it overnight. So everyone stays stuck on the merry-go-round. And though the tree has grown, it's time for us to own. There's poison in the roots, poison in the roots. Oh, there's gonna be poison in the fruit. There's poison in the roots, poison in the roots. Oh, there's gonna be poison in the fruit. Where do you start when there's so much to restore? We gotta dig a little deeper than we've ever dug before. I believe we can untwist the vine that's wrapped around our storyline. I know we can't ignore it anymore. There's poison in the roots, poison in the roots. Oh, there's gonna be poison in the fruit. There's poison in the roots, poison in the roots. Oh, there's gonna be poison in the fruit. There's poison in the roots, poison in the roots. You know there's gonna be poison in the fruit. Oh, there's gonna be poison in the fruit.
Woo! That was great, man. Awesome.
Thanks. How's the sound?
You sound great. I just talked to Alice. She said she's just rebooting her computer. I think she's just having a computer thing. So
Cool.
Why don't you real quick, since they didn't get to, why don't you real quick just introduce yourself to everybody who might not know who you are, and then you can lead us into another song.
Great. Well, my name is Seth Glier. I'm a 32-year-old songwriter living just outside of Northampton, Massachusetts, in a town called Holyoke. And I've known Alice for a number of years through the singer-songwriter community. I met Freebo when I was about 12 years ago, actually. I just turned 19, and I was down at the Kerrville Folk Festival. I fell in love with one of his songs and his spirit. This is a new song of mine that I wrote just about almost a year ago to this date. It's still new. It's called Till Further Notice. Last night the tears were more than just fear. The news hit way too close to home. Talking to friends about when this will end. The truth is that none of us know. I feel paralyzed, been staying inside, keeping the wick of hope lit. Until further notice. Until further notice. New rhythms, no rhyme. Still I'm resigned to look for the gift I've been given. To finish that book, to take a good look at the pace of the life I've been living. 'Cause all of humanity searching for sanity, figuring out how to go through this. Until further notice. Until further notice. 'Cause our finest hour is within our power if we're willing to do a little learning. And if there's an angel that flies from Montgomery, send us a song as a sermon. Some waiting on checks that some won't ever get. Floating can feel just like drowning, but there's still stars in the sky. Love is in good supply, and in a way we're already rebounding. And so I keep trying, laughing and crying, even when I feel a bit broken. I'll be keeping the wick of hope lit until further notice. Until further notice.
Very nice, Seth. Can you hear us?
Oh, you're back.
We're back.
Sorry to.
Because there is an angel that flies from
There
Montgomery.
sure is.
He is an
Great
outlaw.
line. Wow, we're really sorry, folks. I mean, everything was just fine during
Of course,
the
it was
sound
perfect
check.
during sound check. Thanks for
You
stepping in and
still
saving
look
our butts.
Yeah.
You still look a little out of sync. It looks like we're back, but it appears the audio is a touch out of sync.
That's
The
too
audio,
bad.
the audio's a touch out of sync, or the video's a touch out of sync.
Yeah,
Well,
one of them is a little
I
out of sync.
guess. We could just switch to the FaceTime camera on my computer. I guess.
Yeah, you could try that. See if that works real quick.
Attitude is everything. That's right, Jenny.
Let's see.
Do you think sound checks are going to come back?
Usually, sound checks are the most vicious part of touring in
that?
general. I mean,
Yeah.
that's,
Looks great.
Go ahead, talk a little
oh
bit.
dear.
Talking a little bit.
Yeah, you're good. You're in sync. Looks like
Okay.
it's just something with that other camera, so we're good.
Camera, the old camera. In the
Well, this
switcher
is
bit.
great. We
Hey,
can't
I'm
use
way back
my
here. Hello,
my
everybody.
beautiful fancy camera that I bought. Oh well, live TV, right?
Let me get my bass. Back to your tune here.
This is like full on Zoom meeting style. Freebo, we can switch off. For those of you listening on the radio, I hope this has been interesting.
The radio is saying which sounds in sync to us.
So Seth, I wish I could have heard that first song that you played.
Why don't you play it again?
why don't you do
It was beautiful. It was beautiful, just to let you know.
Thank you for stepping in and saving
Oh,
us.
my pleasure.
So appreciate it. I thought maybe I'd do the song that I couldn't do at the beginning, and then we'll get into a conversation with
sounds
you. How
great.
does that sound?
Which is
Can't wait.
interestingly enough, is called "The Things I'm Not Saying to You."
Yes.
Or the things I'm saying that are out of sync. So.
Yes. It's all quiet now at the end of the day. Unpacked my suitcase, I put the dishes away. It's not hard to stay busy, I got so much to do. If I stop, I'll get caught with the things that I'm not saying to you. I heard you've been traveling, I heard you're doing all right. You got some new girlfriend, moving on with your life. But I'm still full of questions. Do you wonder too? Do you still save a spot for the things that I'm not saying to you? I block it out, I play pretend, I write you letters that I can't send. I get so tired of doing what's right. I don't want to be tongue-tied the rest of my life. I bought a new car and I moved to LA. There's just something about it, I don't care what they say. I can walk in the sunshine feel blue. It's the best place I got to escape what I'm not saying to you. I block it out, I play pretend, I write you letters that I can't send. I still know your number, this could be the night, but I don't want to be tongue-tied the rest of my life. I needed to fly, and I needed to grow. I ain't telling you nothing you don't already know, but I still keep you with me. We both know that it's true. No, I haven't forgot all the things that I'm not saying to you. Oh, I haven't forgot all the things that I'm not saying to you. Thanks, Seth.
Hey.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
You all got a close-up of my partial capo and my capo.
Is that what that is?
It is the partial capo. Freebo taught me how to use it, and I've written so many songs with it. Have you ever used one?
I've been avoiding Randall Williams for a long time. What do you got you?
He did. I'm
Yeah.
so glad he
I
did.
guess
It
he got
just
me too.
changed my playing. I don't have to retune anything on my guitar, and I've got dadgad, drop D, double drop D, and pretty much normal all at the same time. It's great. I love it, Seth.
I would forget it. That's the thing. I would write something on it, and I'd be like, "Oh, I can only play this with this capo," and I'm just going through capos.
I have to say that has happened to me, and there's really no worse feeling than realizing you can't play half the songs in your repertoire because you're missing this little piece of metal.
You just have to remember to bring it with you. That's all.
So you got to have multiple. You got to have one in your every pocket.
So Seth, this is it's pretty interesting. All of the shows. This is our 33rd or 34th episode, and in every one I've known, or Alice had, but pretty much me. I've known everybody for a long time, and I don't know you that well. I think we met at Kerrville several years ago. I was very impressed with you as a musician, as a singer, as a songwriter, and as a human being. And the contact we have had together to me has been really intimate and really deep and really strong. So it's great to meet you and to see where this interview goes.
I said this to the audience while your computer was rebooting, but I think I met you, Freebo. I think it was about 12 years ago because it was
really?
I remember it was my first Kerrville ever, and that was a big deal to me because it was the first time that I ever someone bought a plane for me to go play a show. I was like, that was a threshold. And I was down there kind of also like trying to find myself as a writer. I was being mentored with Ellis Paul and Tom Rush and so many of these other Livingston Taylor and so many of these other contemporaries, but I was also trying to just find what kind of songs I wanted to write. And I remember it was Leopard Lounge, and you played a song called When I Die, or like When I Die, it's gonna be a celebration. Well, I still remember the melody.
Good memory, yeah.
And it was like a counter vocal part, and then I was just that was one of the answers for me on my journey of, well, I want to write songs like that.
Wow. Well, thank you, man.
Yeah,
That's what a beautiful compliment.
It's really cool.
And I mean, the
I love
most
that song,
beautiful
too.
part of the compliment is that you actually remember the melody, and you pretty. I mean, that's the chorus. When I die,
It'll be celebration. Maybe am I messing it up now?
but you're awfully
When
quick.
I
Yeah.
die. And there was like a
When I die, give me a standing ovation, a celebration for a job well done.
Yeah.
But really, Tham, wow, what a nice compliment. You know,
Yeah.
were you there for New Folk?
Love it. I was not. I was there. I never did New Folk.
You were on main stage right away?
Yeah, Dallas.
Whoa.
Dallas fell in love with you.
Pulled them again.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that was my first festival I ever played. And what
Cool.
I miss it. That's one of the things of this year, the sort of perennial engagements. I really miss that.
Yeah. Kerrville is so special. I've only been a couple times, but yeah, it gets right in your heart and soul. It's one of those places. And I went into it with a similar attitude, Seth, just like wanting to learn from all the wonderful songwriters that are there and just kind of soak it all up and see what kinds of songs people write and how they go about it. And it says so much about how somebody's mind works and just the way they think of lyrics and melodically how they think. And everybody's so unique with it, you know, and it's really, it leaves you feeling more expansive. And I love that about Kerrville.
Oh yeah, no, and it's so family, and it's really about songwriting.
Yeah.
You know, it's about the song, and I don't know if there's any other place on earth that really focuses quite that much, except for maybe like a songwriting retreat. But this is really 18 days of people camping and everybody on a songwriting camping, peace, love, and music retreat. It's pretty cool.
Long hugs.
Really long hugs, man.
Long hugs that you
I
didn't
would
know
take
you
a
needed.
short hug right now. I'd take any kind of hug.
Yeah. It's great.
Just that. Hey, why don't you play Standing Ovation, Freebo?
Oh man, I don't know. It's been a long time. I don't know if my voice is warmed up or not.
Is it not on the list of songs you remember as we were discussing?
I guess I can. Yeah.
You should.
All right. Why don't you ask Seth something while I get
why
this
don't
together?
I?
Why don't you ask Seth, or I'll ask him. Seth, what has it been like? How have you dealt with COVID in general in your career?
In my
and in life
career.
in general. Career and life.
Yeah, life
Career
and
and
it's
life.
all the same thing, right?
Yeah, it kind of is. Well,
It is.
you know, career has been it's a challenge, right? Because the energy that normally we would make on the road is not happening there. So it's
Right.
you know, you're up against an algorithm. So that's not so hot, but at the same time, I've been doing a weekly live stream for my patrons, and it's been just a total joy. And there's two things about this career-wise that I've actually liked is around June, a lot of us got sick of playing our own songs.
Right.
And so what was great for me was like, all right, well, I'm just going to do like a Nina Simone night, or I'm going to do like a Dr. John night. And
Yeah.
I got to,
I
experiment with
like
all
the sound
these
of
things
that.
I love stride piano. I love boogie woogie. I love opening up, but I don't really do that as part of the sort of singer, the career singer songwriter, precious, important song thing.
Right.
And also it's something that the traditional touring economy wouldn't really, you can't go on tour and change the show every single, like completely. It's just not gonna, they're not going to support that. So I've enjoyed the expansiveness in my musicality this year, in so many lovely fronts. And I've been home for a year, and I've been still for the first time in really since I was a little kid, since I was like, I started going out and playing clubs around 14. So I just kept moving for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And I've just been working on the house and learning about the things that I'm bad at and getting better at them. And then I'll come back to music, and it's constantly like refinishing the stairs is informing the next song idea. It's so part of the same thing right now, and I'm loving that vibe.
There's something really, I don't know if you've read The Artist's Way, but she talks about doing something like doing the dishes or driving, just repetitive activities being actually really good for your creative brain. Do you find that's true?
Well, my favorite actress is Carol Burnett, and she had a quote that was, she's like, if all I ever did was act, I would have no characters to play. And I think it's similar to that, where I kind of, when I'm not trying to write a bunch of songs in a week, and I'm, doing something else, puttering around somewhere, I kind of look at it as, it's like, if creativity is this faucet in the basement and you're turning it on, at first it's going to be filthy, dirty, sludgy kind of water. And then, after a while it starts running and it gets smooth. This is my own sort of constant disruption with when it's flowing too smooth. I don't want that either. Yeah.
But what strikes me about what you said and how you said it, and that's the vibe I got from you from the time we met, is that you're constantly really working on improving yourself, and it's not just about your music. It's about your home life, your humanity, your relationships, and when you get down to it, I mean, what else is life really about? It's this huge challenge, and they come in so many ways, and you just you just hope that you can keep up with the whole thing, and keep getting better at dealing. I always say, if life is a baseball game, you better learn how to hit curveballs, and it seems like you do that in a really intelligent and spiritual way. It's spiritual, really, because to me, spirit is about dealing with what's around you, right? I mean, okay, it is what it is, and how do I fit in with everything it is?
Yeah, sometimes it's spirit, sometimes it's trauma. So, I know I'm not the only artist to sort of say this, but chaos was something that really calms me down and focuses me in. And that was really a coping mechanism of my home environment. But I remember that feeling as I started seeing months and months of shows cancel. It became really clear what was going to be important to me in this, and that was taking care of myself and remaining tethered to other human beings. And everything else was just kind of frivolous.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting, because we were just chatting a little bit earlier, just in terms of your older brother, whom you chose, I'm guessing, to take care of you. Alice was saying, well, it seems like it would have been his younger brother. I mean, it's rare that the younger brother takes care of the older brother, especially since he had that challenge apparently from the time you were born. But I think it's an interesting choice that you decided that you're going to do your best to take care of him. And of course, when you take care of others, the person that usually suffers is oneself. So how it sounds like you're continuing to deal with that, or you somehow figured out how to deal with that balance.
I married a really, really wonderful woman to help me with that tremendously. But and to be honest, that part of it that you're talking about is really only something that I've begun to learn in the last few years. And for those listening at home, my brother was born with autism. He lived his life without the ability to speak, and he ultimately had a seizure disorder that took his life. But I became his guardian. I was a care provider for him throughout, starting around 15. I would wake up early and get them ready for school, and then I'd go to school, and there's a real intimacy in care providing, but that was I was sort of just a part of the cog in my family wheel. We were all care providers. And then I throughout much of my 20s, I was looking for it. I was looking for something to take care of. And really it was a couple changes that I made in my life around 26, 27, and also the divorce of my parents that made me want to experiment a little bit more with actually putting myself first, and the myriad of ways in which that would be,
Which is really important. I mean, I love the airplane metaphor that if something happens and the oxygen mask comes down, put it over your own face first.
Right.
Because if you don't save yourself, you can't save anybody else.
Right. Yeah.
Well, good for you, man.
Beautiful.
Great respect.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And therefore, I'm going to play for you. For you, not just because. Yes, because you deserve a standing ovation. You do. And
thank you.
I'm going to take my headphones off. What's that?
This is a total joy. I'm like 20 years old.
We get to serenade each other. Yeah. That's what this is all about. You should move up a little bit.
Let me see what I can do here.
Here.
Talk to the folks, Alice.
Hey, folks. Thanks for being here. Thanks for bearing with us through our slight technical difficulties. And if you're listening on WPVM FM in Asheville, North Carolina, thank you so much for being on the air. And thank you to our friends at Cordial Cables. I was also just thinking that we've got a close-up of our Cordial Cables. They have been a wonderful sponsor of our show. And we will be doing our giveaway a little bit later on. And you can find out more about them if you look up Cordial Cables USA.
For you, Seth. Help me out, Alice. If life is a comedy, the part that we play is never as clear as it could be. Or maybe a drama, who is to say? But it always turns out as it should be. And if I am a player who's played his part well and did it with humor and grace, when I die, give me a standing ovation, a celebration for a job well done. No need to cry,
don't you cry.
It's not my final destination. I'll be at the station when the train comes by. You write your own story as the pages unfold, but you're never quite sure of the ending. Maybe it's destiny, maybe it's choice, maybe we're all just pretending. In a tale of a lifetime, if it all comes around and you only receive what you're sending. Oh, when I die, give me a standing ovation, a celebration for a job well done. No need to cry,
don't you
it's
cry.
not my final destination. I'll be at the station when the train comes by. Ooh.
Some have it easy, some have it all. Some work so hard for so little. We sink to the bottom and we rise to the top, but mostly wind up in the middle. The more we are different, the more we're the same. I'm just one more who's worked through the riddle. And when I die, give me a standing ovation, a celebration for a job well done. No need to cry.
Don't you cry.
It's not my final destination. I'll be at the station when the train comes by. Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Now imagine being in the 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
You look up and it's the biggest Texas moon you've ever seen. A formative experience, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
I love that.
That's so nice. You know, you never know how you affect people or how a song hits somebody, and that's that really touches me, man. Thank you.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I love it. Hey, Seth, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Well, someone in the chat mentioned, actually, David and Lenny are watching, Ingalls, and she had said that you did a TED Talk, and that's so fascinating, and I'm wondering if you could talk about your TED Talk.
That's great. I've been wanting to talk about the TED Talk for a while.
Really?
No, I just think it's funny. It's like a podcast about a podcast.
Perfect. Well,
Anyway, thank you, David and Lenny. Appreciate it.
we're on a show about a show. I just wanted to know what the subject was.
It was about gratitude.
Uh-huh.
And I'll this will lead to the next song very well. But yeah, it was I it was one of those weird things because I was asked to do a TED Talk in August of whenever it was, many years ago, 5 years ago or so. And then what happened was I had a pretty good idea of what I was gonna talk about, and then my brother passed away, and it was one of those things where I didn't know just how healing the process of just coming up with the story. I mean, I of course I know this intellectually because this is the work we do, right? How you tell a story has the power to change the story. It's that simple. But to be kind of like actively engaged in assembling the pieces together, it was great. I was really grateful for that experience. And it was also one of the more terrifying things I have ever done. Yeah. Yeah. But, this is a song that is a song about whenever you lose someone, there are these signs that tend to come into your life. And I identify as a, not so much a particularly like religious person, but a deeply cynical person. And
I thought you were going to say spiritual.
No, not so much.
Good. Can I relate to that statement?
Interesting.
But what I mean by that is like, I of course there's something I feel something going on, but also I think the mind, we're so great at coming up with patterns. And this is a song just about that. Not necessarily saying this means anything at all, but But that ultimately, I think the real gift and the real challenge is not to find out what the signs mean, but just to pay attention to the signs in the first place. The meaning always falls slightly short of the magic that is experiencing that wonder or that memory of the other person. That's real. So this is a song about that. This is called I'm Still Looking. There's nothing new about the rain on the roof this morning. I've heard it all before. It's like the bird outside my window is calling. There might be something more. Speaking through the silence of the sunrise. Like their song and water have something to say. I don't know if it's you, I don't know if it's me, I don't know who's painting the picture I see. I don't know if it's true, I don't know what it means, but I'm still looking. I'm still looking. There's a 6-year-old standing on the edge of a parking lot. I see his outstretched arms, reaching for his older brother to take his hand and lead him to the car. How can such a casual reflection feel today more like a souvenir? I don't know if it's you, I don't know if it's me, I don't know who's painting the picture I see. I don't know if it's true, I don't know what it means, but I'm still looking. I'm still looking for a sign that you were with me. This voice of yours is more than distant banter. Other people try explaining. I still have more questions than answers. I don't know. Is it you? Is it me? Who's painting the picture I see? I don't know if it's true, I don't know what it means, but I'm still looking. I don't know if it's you, but I want it to be. I'm still looking. I'm still looking.
Brilliant song, man.
Just gorgeous.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
I could listen to you sing all day.
Thank you. The feeling is mutual, Alice.
Thanks.
I was very impressed with your background vocals also.
Oh,
That is,
thank you.
That's a skill that I just don't totally have.
Really?
Yeah. Not a
You know,
great background vocalist.
It's there's definitely a the blend is so important, and both Freebo and I actually sang in a cappella groups in college, so I think we both have some kind of tendency to that, and I do enjoy just trying to make myself fit right in with the other person. It's a whole different thing than singing the solo, as you well know, but yeah, it's satisfying in a different way.
I mean, and for years, I've just identified myself as the backup person playing bass and singing harmony. So for me, it was the opposite to all of a sudden step out front and say, "Oh my God, I've got to sing the melody." Oh. So
I love your description of your little tiny background parts with Bonnie, like your little.
Love has no pride.
You can watch old videos of them, and he's like this tiny little voice, so shy. You got a great voice, Freebo. You've worked on it.
Thank you. Why don't you give Seth a taste of your lead vocal voice?
Well, yeah, that song that you just played, Seth, made me think of my father, who passed away when I was 18 at my first year at Smith, actually. And I've written about him so much, and I've found, and maybe you feel this way, but my songs have been a way for me to just work through that and kind of see it from so many different angles and just put him in all these different characters and put myself in the story too. And
what was your father's name?
My father's name was Sandy Howe. Yeah. Short for Alexander.
Great.
He was the coolest. What was your brother's name?
Jamie. Not as singable as Sandy. The songwriter like Sandy has.
Well, and it's now that you say that, I have never put his name in a song.
Yeah.
You know, because to me he's pop. You know,
right.
So and that doesn't really sing too well. But it's nice that you asked his name, because I think that's something that, you know, is it. I think when someone has lost somebody, there's like more of a comfort of just like talking about the person, because there's a feeling when you haven't had that experience of being like, what do I say? What do I ask? But I think if you've been there, you know, it's actually nice to talk about the person, because
I think names keep people alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
I love that. Well, on that note, I'd like to sing this song that I wrote for him years ago, but still feels really true and probably always will. It's called Nothing But You, for Sandy. Gone in a flash, gone in a flame, gone in the dark, gone when I call your name. Under a wave, under the ground, under my skin, and still you hardly make a sound. I look back, and still I see nothing but you. Cabin floor, a piece of gold. I'd take anything my hands can hold. A dream that lingers in the light and leaves you stumbling back toward that gentle night. I look back and still I see nothing but you. What if I wake to find I was mistaken this whole time? But if I'd never lost you, you may never have been mine. Gone in the winter, gone in the spring, the leaves were falling, then I swear I heard you sing. Summer's come and I look around, and still you're nowhere. No, you're nowhere to be found. I look back and still I see nothing. I look within and still I see nothing. Nothing but you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you just realize? Do you want to turn the?
I'm just about to
Okay,
do it.
I
Yeah.
just realized. Do we have a bit of a hum in the background? I just
Your
noticed we've got.
refrigerator running?
Yeah, I gotta go catch it. Hold on. Thanks for that, Freebo. Well, that always just puts me in that place. And I'm there now.
Yeah.
Hey, Freebo, I'm thinking maybe you should try to get one more song in before we go out of our radio hour here with WPVM. Before we
Me,
move
or
into
should we have Seth take us out?
whatever you prefer. It's your dealer's choice.
You know what, Seth, you're a special guest, and
I want
I
to
would
hear
love
another
you
song
to.
from him.
I'd love you to do another song, man.
Sounds
But
good.
thanks for asking, Alice.
This hour just flew
Oh
by.
man, well we took us a while to get it together technically, but hey, thank you all for hanging with us. We really appreciate it,
Yeah.
and thanks to our folks in Asheville and on the radio. And this was our second time actually being live. So
Yeah.
we'll be back next week. I think next week is just going to be you and me, right,
Yep,
Alice?
that's right.
We're going to interview each other.
As we
What
do
we'll do.
once in a while on Inside Live. So
You.
I know, sometimes you gotta. It gives us a little more time to, talk about the deep cuts.
Yeah, right on.
So take us out with a song on the radio, and then we'll switch over to our after party.
Yeah, just let the people know that.
Yep. We are going to switch over to our Zoom after party right after this song, folks. So you can just look for the meeting ID and password in the chat and join us backstage, where you can say hi to us and maybe ask a question, hear a couple more songs. So
Yeah.
take it away, Seth.
Yeah, all right, Seth. Go for it.
When this storm is all over, there's no risk of exposure. Will we still stand where we stood? Will it be back to business as usual? Can we build the world more beautiful? than we ever thought we could. Welcome to the coronation, where all creation gets an invitation to a new world order. I'm talking about a liberation from our story of separation, where together we find salvation, love with no borders. It's just around the corner. It's just around the corner. The crown can come from the ashes, even as the lightning flashes. We will use the sparks to see the myth that fuels our compulsion, that keeps us in perpetual motion, stealing our humanity. Welcome to the coronation, where all creation gets an invitation to a new world order. I'm talking about a liberation from our story of separation, where together we find salvation, love with no borders. It's just around the corner. It's just around the corner. A reunion meant for everyone. A reunion meant for everyone. Everyone. Welcome to the coronation, where all creation gets an invitation to a new world order. Now I'm talking about a liberation from our story of separation, where together we find salvation, love with no borders. It's just around the corner. It's just around the corner. Yes, I'll meet you around the corner. I'll meet you around the corner.
Wow.
Great stuff, and that took us right out in the radio, just about to the end of your song.
That was fantastic, Seth. And I gotta say, that ending, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready to hit the unmute button. I was like, it was just boom.
Oh, great.
Yeah, on the chat's got Trevor Beaumont said, "This guy is great."
Oh, thank you, Trevor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, folks are loving you. I don't know if you have the chat up, Seth, but
I don't.
It's all good
right.
vibes.
Great.
No.
Great.
And I just want to make sure folks know where to find you online, Seth. Your website is sethglier.com. It's Glier, correct?
Yeah.
I before E, except after C.
There you go.
Thank God that works with your name.
Yeah.
And then you have a Patreon too, right, Seth?
I do. Yeah. Yeah, which
Cool.
is just patreon.com/Seth Glier. And I do weekly live streams called Pandemic Parties. Not
Awesome.
similar to this fun shindig.
That's great that you're doing them for your patrons. I've started my Patreon about a year ago. I guess I was kind of late to the party. It's like everybody figured out how amazing it was when the pandemic changed everything about just the way we all make money and touring. And I want to mention to folks that I just started a special offer today. I don't know if you've ever done one of those, Seth, but I just started this one on mine. If you sign up at $7 or more for the rest of the month of April, I will send you a homemade mix CD of a special exclusive playlist of songs of mine that I've recorded in the past that maybe you have never heard. So
Cool.
I'm sending that out for everybody at $7 and up.
Right
So
on.
check it out. Yeah, just want to mention.
Yeah, I think Patreon is sort of the it's the ship that we were building as we learned how to sail through this storm.
Right.
And I think that people are, I mean, I know that it's a great value, but I think that people are getting also that it's truly a sustainable model for people like us, and allows us to, just make more art.
It's so true.
It's that
I know. And at first I kind of overthought it. And by the way, folks, Freebo has one too. Now you can go to patreon.com/Freebo music. I'm plugging it. I helped him set it up. I'm very proud.
You did. Thank you. Thank you for
I
that.
think, it's like at first I thought it had to be perfect. Like everything on there had to be, because, we're used to like Instagram, social media. It's like you striking a pose of like your perfect sort of version of yourself in a way, or it can be that way. And this is so not that. It's so refreshing that it's just like, this is what I'm working on. Because for a while, for me, it was like, wait, am I allowed to just share this stuff that isn't done? It's like, yeah, we want that. It's like, oh, okay. It's very nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and speaking of support, folks, we can say it now that we're not in the radio, but if you want to support us, besides the Patreon, we have Venmo and PayPal.
Yep.
And send checks, and we really appreciate it. If you like what you're hearing,
We
a couple
will be
bucks here and
splitting
there.
all the money between the artists for tonight, and you can just find that information in the chat on any platform that you're watching on. Just check it out. Brandon's got all the info in there.
Excellent.
Freebo, why don't you do another song before we let the folks into
Before we let the
Oh,
folks
maybe
in?
we should let them in.
Let's let the
them
folks in. And those of you in the chat, you can stay there, but you may as well come into the Zoom if you can. We'd love to see you. You get to see us.
And y'all
we
can,
should be able to see you.
You can clap when you can briefly
That's right.
unmute.
Oh my God, are we gonna hear applause? I love.
We can
We're
hear
gonna
some
hear a
loud, some
little
real applause,
applause.
just for a moment.
Oh man, I've
It's-
been jonesing.
I know. Isn't it funny how we just need it so much?
We're addicted, aren't we?
We are so.
Our
we
egos
just,
are just a little out of control, but it's it's why we do what we do. So
It's true. It's true. It's why I get sent out of the house
you do? By whom?
time to time. But because it's the not having an audience has been. Sometimes I'll just be in the kitchen looking for an audience.
The cats, the dogs, whatever.
Yeah, they're not there. They're not there.
Oh, they can't clap in the same way. Freebo.
Oh, people are coming.
Yeah.
Hakmoni from Israel.
Hi,
Hey.
Gary. Wow, nice to see you, and Joe and Storm.
Yeah, everybody.
Great. Glad you guys are here. Keep coming in. You guys can keep joining as this continues. No, there's no end to the Zoom party. Once we open it up, you can just join. So
That's right. Filling up bit by bit. Oh yes, all right. Oh, you want me to play something?
I want you to get your guitar. Yeah.
My guitar is right here. It's still plugged in.
All right.
All right, I will take this off.
We got the usual crew plus some new faces. Gary, so nice to see you. And David and Leanie. Excellent. All right.
All right. Oh, cool. So, this, everything we're talking about, Seth, is, it's really like about getting older and getting wiser, hopefully, and, I really think that's what the journey is. It's all about learning, and then often learning comes from, making mistakes. I like to say the only real mistake is the one we don't learn from. Mm-hmm. So, I think I've gained some wisdom over the years because I've made I can say it now, a shitload of mistakes. I learned the ones I didn't learn from. I had to learn from when I did them again.
Oh,
and
well, that's
maybe
nice. You
a
got
third
to
time.
you got
But
another chance.
yeah, well. So anyway, this song is kind of about that. I wrote it with my buddy Ronnie Cox, and it's called "It Goes By Fast" because it certainly does.
I haven't heard this one in a while. Is this plugged in all the way?
It is now, yeah. When I was a boy walking down by the tracks, what in the world did I know? I knew the world wasn't flat and I was faster than Jack, and I knew that I'd never grow old.
Time is a game of hide and seek. It will catch you when it can. Now I'm walking along those tracks, trying to understand. And it goes by fast. It's true that nothing lasts. You know time must pass, but it goes by fast. I was 17 when I fell in love. What in the world did I know? Hypnotized, those beautiful eyes, lost in a world of my own. Love is a game of hide and seek. It will blind you when it can. But I find my way and I live each day trying to understand. And it goes by fast. It's true that nothing lasts. You know time must pass, but it goes by fast. Time and life and love and all of their mysteries. Nothing I have learned is what it seems to be. La 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 bam bam. La 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 bam bam da da da. You know I don't know the word, but I think you do. I'll sing it with da da da.
La bamba, la la bamba, la la bamba. Oh, I remember.
Here you go.
Yo no soy marinero. Yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. La la bamba, la la bamba, la la bamba, la la la. Para bailar la bamba, para bailar la bamba se necesita una poca de gracia.
So here I am, I'm a full-grown man, and what in the world do I know? I know the world, what is it? What do I know? What do
I don't know.
I found,
went by too fast.
Here's what I know. I found through the years of laughter and tears, you don't have to do what you're told. Life is a game, you take your chance, and you play the best you can. So I find my way and I live each day trying to understand. Sing it with me, folks. And it goes by fast. It's true that nothing lasts. You know time must pass and goes by fast. One more time. Yes, it goes by fast. It's true that nothing lasts. You know time must pass, but it goes by fast. It goes by fast. I see you playing along, Seth. Oh, it goes by fast.
Alice Freebo, you sound so good.
Oh, the applause.
Alice, that voice of yours is amazing. Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Freebo.
Thank you. I know that was Thomas. I didn't
That
even
was
need to
Thomas.
see him.
We know that voice.
I love that. We've got our regulars here on the Zoom party. We love you guys.
Hey, while we got you all, while none of you are on mute, why don't you all very quickly say a quick hello, Seth?
Hello, Seth.
Hello, Seth.
Hey, Seth.
Hello, Seth.
And now, because Seth
Hey,
really
Seth.
wants to hear it, give him applause.
Give him a round
give
of
him-
applause.
There you go. How's that feel, Seth?
Dude, that'll give me the Thursday.
Did that just revive you for a little while? Give you a little more energy?
What a great song.
I wish.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it also goes with Twist and Shout. Sometimes I'll do that one live.
That's
Same
right.
thing.
I always forget that you do
Shake it up, baby. Shake
great.
it up, baby.
It's great with the band.
Yeah, it's fun with the band.
Hey,
GO
Seth.
145.
What should we do, Freebo? What do you think?
Well, Seth, why don't you entertain us and our folks here in the Zoom with another song? And
why
the
don't you
folks in
play?
the chat.
Can I make a request?
Huh.
Since we're in the after party portion of the evening. Oh.
There you go.
Where's it coming from? I think okay, good. Seth, can you hear me? I think he's muted now.
Seth shouldn't be muted.
Oh,
there we go.
There we go.
There you go.
I was wondering, Seth, you mentioned that you do these cover song nights, and I know this isn't your usual repertoire, but would you do some Dr. John? Is that, I mean, because I love Such a Night like more than anything.
Such a Night.
So do you do that song?
I can't do Such a Night.
Oh, okay.
But I can give you. We were talking about the mansplain jar.
Oh yeah.
I can give you a little flavor of Dr. John.
Okay.
On a good $20 bill in the mansplain jar.
Tell the folks about the mansplaining jar because this is pretty brilliant.
The mansplain jar is a jar that is full of tons of cash because you put cash in it every time you start mansplaining around the house. And of course, women are in charge of the jar. It's we're learning. It's a syndrome. Everybody's doing some new thing these days. Me, I'm still old-fashioned with old-fashioned ways. I am a white male heterosexual guy. It's awfully good to be me. Since the dawn of humanity, I've been the mover and the shaker and the territory taker. I'm a white male heterosexual, always had the world on a string. And it's an absolute no-brainer. I'm the very best explainer to everyone of everything. I mean, for instance, just let me tell you about whatever while you're ignored. I mean, for instance, just let me tell you about whatever while you grow bored. Because as I was saying before you interrupted, I'm a white male heterosexual. What is everything I do is a blast. And I never like to dwell on the past, like what I did in French Guiana, Tanzania, and Botswana. I'm a white male heterosexual, always been the top of the heap. I got the attitude and swagger, I'm a total knuckle dragger. I'm 6 foot tall but half an inch deep. I met a woman, she's so open-minded. She went to Vassar, she got a social work degree. She had a girlfriend, that kind of girlfriend. And then that open-minded woman went and married me. I know there'll come a day, hope it's 30 years away, she's gonna figure out beyond the slightest doubt that I'm a white male heterosexual generous as a human can be. I hope she'll keep me at a pity, like a puppy, like a kitty, like a cuddly household pet, 'cause that's the best that you can get when you're a white male heterosexual like me.
Oh man, that is so clever
That was
and so
brilliant.
true. Brilliant.
I just thank you for that. It gave me a lot of good laughs there.
And Seth, as a white heterosexual male who's 6 feet tall, I can definitely relate to that. And,
1 inch deep.
I've been a mansplainer for.
You're gonna bring up Freebo?
I'm learning though. You know, I mean the women. What do I say? The women today smarter than the man in every way. No.
What's that from again?
I say the woman of today is smarter than the man in every way. It's an island song.
That's
but
great.
It's a great
Harry
song.
Belafonte.
And a jar.
Oh,
And a jar.
hi, Madhumita.
Hi. Mwah.
Madhumita,
Mwah.
hey.
Mwah.
Ah.
So nice to see
So
you.
much love. So much.
Love you. Great to see you. Aw.
But we should tell the folks about if you don't know about the Cordial
Yes.
cable giveaway.
I was just going to say.
And Seth, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we're sponsored by Cordial Cables. All of our cables are Cordial, and they're really wonderful in that they're made of basically 100% copper. They have little to no resistance, so they really sound good, but they're also lifetime guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
So
German made.
German made. You get one, Seth, for free because you're
Yes.
playing our show. Either a mic cable or an instrument cable, whatever you'd like.
And you get a free t-shirt,
10 for the
too.
20 and a free t-shirt. And
They are wonderful supporters
really cool.
of artists, and we're very happy that they've been on board for
we really are.
like almost the whole time we've been doing the show.
Yeah,
so
yeah, we really
we're
appreciate
so grateful to them.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, and so we get to give one away to the audience too. So somebody will win tonight, and we chose a secret number between 1 and 100 before we started the show. So you guys know the drill. You've already put your numbers in the chat. I didn't even need to explain.
And I'll give you a hint. It's not 1 and it's not 100.
And we didn't do it. We've never used this number before.
Is that right?
That's true.
All right.
That's
New number
scientifically
every
true.
time. So don't choose one of the old numbers. Although it might be close. You never know. But.
Cool. Well, does anybody have a question for anybody in any of the three artists, for Seth, for me, or
Question
for Freebo?
or a request?
A request or a question? You can either raise your hand and I will call on you, perhaps.
Raise your hand.
Yes. But I want to see a real hand, not an emoji hand.
Real hand, yes.
I want to see like a wave.
I see,
David.
there's a hand.
David Schulman.
Strict.
Hey, Seth. Seth, can you hear me?
Hey, is this David?
Yes.
This is
Hi,
David.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, man?
Pretty good. Will you be playing any festivals outdoors in the Pioneer Valley this spring, summer, warm days?
I'm doing these things called pop-up pandemic parties where I'm playing people's driveways or backyards.
In Holyoke, in Northampton, and
Anywhere
Shelburne?
within a 50-mile radius of Northampton. But there's a couple festivals that I might be doing. It's just we're still in this limbo. You know, Green River Festival just announced.
Yes.
They announced the festival, but no details, and I think that's because
They just posted the lineup,
yeah,
or at least the first pass at the lineup.
first pass, yeah.
I bought tickets today.
Yeah,
Good
well,
for you.
that's great. I think we're all you know, still trying to figure out how to you know, I think some venues are eager to open up, but I'm not planning on doing any indoor clubs probably until the fall at the earliest. But I'm going to be doing some traveling. I might be doing Kerrville in October, and all the festivals that I had scheduled were in June and July, and all those are not happening.
Right.
Have you had your shots?
I did. I just got my Fauci ouchie. Got my first one
Ouchie, ouchie.
last week. It's great. It's
Great. Me too. I got mine last week too.
Did you get Moderna or Johnson & Johnson?
I got Pfizer.
Oh no, girl.
Yeah, me too. I got my second Pfizer actually 2 weeks ago tomorrow. So starting tomorrow, I am
the clear.
I'm theoretically in the clear. Who knows? But more in the clear than without the shots.
That's very
I
exciting.
would like to think.
It's great.
Cool.
So yeah, we're going across country too. We're recording Alice's next record in Muscle Shoals at the iconic Fame Studios,
Fantastic.
where some wonderful people have done it, and we're doing that in the middle of July, and we're actually going to be driving across together to Muscle Shoals by way of Chicago, which makes perfect sense. We're doing folk stage, Rich Warren's folk stage, and a couple shows along the way in Colorado and Kansas, and hopefully St. Louis, maybe a little detour to Iowa, and something probably in Nashville, and maybe Atlanta, and maybe see some friends in Edisto, and eventually up into Alice's neck of the woods in New England.
Cool.
So maybe we'll see you.
Hey,
Maybe we can play in somebody's driveway together.
Hey, can we do that? Can we do a co-bill somehow, somewhere?
That'd be so fun.
We'll help you draw a few more people.
yeah, that'd be a blast.
Maybe
And
we
you
can
could-
do something in Western Massachusetts, in the Berkshires.
That would be great.
Well, yeah.
Let's put it together,
would be great.
Madhumita.
I have a backyard.
You
and-
do? I didn't know you had a place in the Berkshires.
Yeah, in Otis, Massachusetts.
Oh my gosh!
I told
Sign me
Laura.
up.
Well, let's do it. When Alice, why
there.
don't you? We'll talk and
talk.
Okay, let's talk.
Seth,
And
that's not quite a 50-mile radius for you, Seth, is it?
it's a straight drive, kinda.
Yeah. Seth, would you make an exception for that? Would you extend your 50-mile radius thing?
Yeah, it's just a rule. It's just a rule. It's meant to be extended.
The rules are meant to be broken, right?
That's great.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, excellent.
No, that sounds cool.
Let's talk, yeah.
Cool.
I love that idea. I think Storm and Carolyn both have their hands raised. Storm, what was your question or comment? Hi.
I want to say hi to Seth from Greenfield. So we've got Massachusetts well represented here.
Yeah, I love it.
And I knew you first through political context, and then I knew you as a musician context. But I don't know if I ever shared with you that I actually have a multiply handicapped, nonverbal autistic daughter with seizure disorders,
Well, I don't
who
think.
I raised for 9 years as a single dad. So I could definitely relate to what you were talking about. And she's now in care in Maine, and because of the pandemic, I haven't been able to see her for 17 months. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But I just wanted to share that. And I got my Moderna just hours ago, and it has hit me like a huge jolt of adrenaline. It's been really, really interesting.
Whoa, you better take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Clean your house or something.
Ride it to the other side of Loopy.
Yes. Yes. Wow.
Storm, where do we know each other from political connections?
In Greenfield, I first met you inside of First Congo Church.
That's right. That's right. I do remember this. Yeah. Cool. Lovely.
Yeah.
Gotta love Western Mass.
Yep.
The tofu curtain.
The tofu curry.
Yeah, and I was one of the people who helped start Stone Soup Cafe.
Right on. Right on.
Never heard of that, tofu.
Stone Soup Cafe is a really amazing thing. It's a once a week on a Saturday, pay what you can restaurant with high quality food. We started out feeding about 23 people, and in the beginning we were actually bringing the food cooked in one location to another location to serve. And now with the pandemic, we're serving like 500 people a week.
Wow.
And they're serving me because I can't go there. And so they're actually doing home deliveries.
Oh.
Pretty
That's
amazing.
great.
amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the budget of the place next year is estimated to be $250,000,
Wow.
which is just, I mean, as I said, when we started, we were lucky if we were serving 23 people and
Wow.
wondering if people really needed it.
Wow.
Oh, for sure. Where does the money come from?
Fundraising and grants.
I've done a few fundraising concerts for
Yeah.
Soup. It's
Oh,
amazing
wow.
organization, and really more than anything, in addition to food, you're getting served dignity, in every sense of the words.
Absolutely. And when we meet in person, there's actually a circle where people after the meal come together and talk and do a particular method of sharing. But of course, you can't do that at the moment.
Right.
Well, I remember my mom reading that story to me. I had a picture book about stone soup, so I'm familiar with the legend. That's very cool. Thank you, Storm, for sharing.
Thank you,
as
Storm.
always.
And Carolyn had her hand up,
Yeah.
didn't she? Need to unmute. There we go.
Hello.
Well, Storm already asked the question or talked about autism, and I wanted to talk to you about that also, but it was already talked about. But I Googled you, and I liked the song Trouble with People, and I wanted to know a little bit about that.
Man,
Especially the first line.
I was you're taking I'm gonna try to get in my body's. I wrote that when I was 18 or 19, so my body is so far away from it now. The trouble with people is they drive me nuts. Feet on the gas and hands on the clutch. Yeah. It was I was dropping out of college. I was pretty I was beginning what I refer to as my extended adolescence that I'm still on. Yeah, I had just gotten my heart broken for the first time. And what I liked, I was in Boston. I was studying songwriting at Berkeley, and I would just go for really, really long walks. It's such a walkable city, so I'd walk from one side of it to the other. And was there anything like specific? That's just I just remember that's kind of where I was.
With the very first line,
Yeah.
people drive me crazy.
Yeah, well, they do.
Don't they?
I can
Depends on the
identify.
people.
Yeah.
I'm a lot further than 19 than you are, so they still drive me crazy.
Yeah. They still drive me crazy too. I think I was also trying to suss out the difference between a group of people and a community, and I hadn't really done that yet.
Well, especially Seth, when you're going through heartbreak, you're not exactly in the most grateful of places where you're going, oh, people are wonderful. It's like, wait, a person just broke my heart, and you're looking around, and it doesn't make you feel so good to see happy people and see sad people, and you just relate to them. And so I can totally hear that first line of that song in that situation.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Thanks. I just was curious.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Carolyn.
Thanks for the question.
Yeah, and thanks for joining us all the time, Carol. I really appreciate it.
Always nice to see you.
And David and Leni had mentioned that, Seth, it's only 50 miles from where you live to the Berkshires. And maybe if we somehow put this together at Mount Humitas in the summer, maybe David and Leni can come out.
Cool.
Be good to see you guys.
Yeah.
David
As
and
always.
Beanie are also not far from me.
Oh, you guys know each other from well, I guess from the whole folk
from,
community, right?
Yeah, they were big fans of my husband James's quartet, Work of the Weavers.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Well, David and Leanie are big folk music fans and
Yeah.
supporters, and we appreciate that.
We do. And I'm sorry I mispronounced your name earlier, Leanie. It was,
I'm loving that it's like phonetically spelled out.
I know. I think that was for my benefit because I said Lenny, which I knew wasn't right when it came out of my mouth, but it was like too late.
I've done it too. I've done it.
I must admit I have too. Even though there's only one N and not two.
No. We're terrible. We're just terrible people.
Oh my goodness.
People. We're just people, and people are,
I want to say hi to Gary, and he's raising his hand. Gary, hi, it's so nice to see you. And I just want to say that many of us know your friend, and my friend Stephen Anglis passed away last summer, and I was just thinking of him as soon as I saw your name, and he was such a sweet person and a fan of my music and just such a supporter. He's one of the first people I met at Folk Alliance, actually. He commented on my guitar when I did not know a single person there. He was so sweet to me, and he said that he loved the way my guitar sounded, and that was the beginning of our friendship, and I have known you since then, and I just want to mention him, and sorry that he's gone, and I hope you are doing okay.
Doing fine. Thank you. I do have a question for Seth, though.
Yeah.
I have seen Seth probably 5 or 6 times, and the first few times you had I think his name was Joe, the multi-instrumentalist that accompanied you. But the very last time that I saw you was in Northport, and you came alone. So I'm just curious if when you get back to touring, if Joe will still be part of your act, or if that's not happening anymore.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember Northport. Joe and I are still making music together, but we've changed our relationship a little bit, and the road just started getting physically really, really challenging. And he's a much older man than I am, but we were starting to do a bunch of international traveling, and man, we had this tour that was it was 35 flights in 38 days.
Oh my God, what?
No one was coming on that one regular. But so actually throughout the pandemic, Joe and I have been able to continue collaborating and making different music that we've been sharing on Patreon. But he's no longer going on the road. I will either be touring with a fiddle player, or sometimes I'm with a fiddle player and an upright bassist. These two incredible women named Kelly and Rachel, and ideally we love doing the trio thing, but we'll see. I think I'm going to be doing some solo stuff, at least out of the gate, because musicians are other places, and we're going to be still dealing with some of these restrictions for a little while. Mm-hmm. And also I'm kind of loving, like I was saying earlier, I'm loving the solo thing. I'm loving being able to kind of open it up a little bit.
Very good. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say just the whole floating thing, and you don't have to worry about usurping someone else on stage and taking up too much space, and just really, as we said, flying by the seat of your pants. Right. And just doing whatever comes out. There's something very freeing about that. On the other hand, you're all by yourself and you don't have the musical accompaniment, which is a whole different thing.
Yeah, but I have a left hand now that's been practicing every day for a year. So I didn't have the left hand before.
Well, as a bass player, I know why, and us bass players are not crazy about piano players' left hands because they tend to get in the way of what we're doing.
Right. Well, that's why you're over there and I'm over here. I Chip Jackson, he played with Herbie. I remember sitting in a gig, and I'm not a jazz guy, but I can kind of fake it a bit. And he walks in his upright, and he sees me, and I'm all of 23 in New York, and he just goes, "Anything below middle C is mine." That's where we started.
Nothing like stating your boundaries.
That is so funny. Yes,
I remember. At your needs, man.
when we were in the studio last with Mark Jordan, I remember you and Mark having a moment, like they were like fighting over a note, basically. It's like, you guys, somebody just take it.
Yeah, it's like, no, don't play that note because I want to either play that note or a different note.
He's
I
want to play
I
that
want to have
note.
the freedom. I know you want to play that note, but so do I. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've gotten to the point where Freebo and I have been playing together so much that when he's not there, I just hear his part vividly in my head, and I almost like want to sing it because I'm like, oh, you guys are missing this. There's like this hole that I just know there's got to be a boom there, but it's not there.
Yeah, man. Exploring the void.
Yep, that's right.
I mean, even when I was traveling with Joe regularly, I would always take like a week or so, and I would go like do a bunch of opening dates for Dar Williams, and I would be solo, so I'd make myself have to deal with all that space.
Yeah.
And the two things I always realize is, one, that space is awesome, and two, that we have a tendency to speed things up in order to keep songs interesting for ourselves. When we play things over and over again, it gets sped up. So that's been also part of my discipline is breathing.
Yeah. Oh, we used to call that white man's disease, and like lay it back until I found out that black people have the same problem. It's a whole fat back principle in R&B. Just stay on the backside of the beat and really focus. But I know as you did that, I mean, your groove is incredible. I mean, I don't hear any speeding up in what you're doing solo. That's for sure.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
I think Thomas has a comment, and maybe we'll make that the last of the evening before we say goodnight. What's up, Thomas?
Thank you, Alice. Two quick comments. I've watched two great documentaries recently, and I understand you're going to Muscle Shoals and you're playing at Fame, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
If Alice, I'm assuming if either one of you haven't seen that documentary on Muscle Shoals.
We have,
it.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it a few times.
It's unbelievable, right?
It's great.
We all know we know all about Rick, and his son is now running it, and I mean the stairs and the hallways, and it was all very familiar. Yeah. But I learned a lot from watching that. I was in Muscle Shoals before I saw the documentary, but yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, I figured that Freebo you had over the years, and I wasn't sure about Alice, but. And you mentioned in one of the shows that you were going to Fame, not the other one, right? Up until that documentary, I thought there was only one studio, but there's really two.
Yeah.
Well, there's more than that actually now.
There's
three
now
or four,
quite a few, just newer ones that have sprung up and have all just, people speak so highly of all of them. Just a lot of really musical people there. And
that's awesome. Great. The other thing I saw, and a thing called Satan and Adam. Do you guys know about this? Oh my God. All right. I just saw it this week. It's about a black jazz guy in Harlem, an R&B guy. Oh, and he played with a lot of the famous guys and he became a street musician. And a white guy went up there and played with him. And they wound up touring. And the guy was, you might know his name, McGee, maybe. Satan is really a guy named McGee. He's the old black guy. Unbelievable. Really interesting story, and it's a true story. You may want to look into it, and it's very interesting. Has anyone here heard of Satan?
Yes, I have. I have seen them at the Bottom Line. I was in there in that space. Oh my God, I've seen them a few times. Yeah, it was amazing. They were just, and Vince Kelsa interviewed them. If you remember his show, Idiot's Delight.
Yeah.
He's invited them and they've done shows together. So I have probably a tape that I've made from years ago, them being live.
Do you know the guy's name, the older gentleman's name?
Was it Brownie McGee?
No.
Sonny Terry, yeah.
No, it's not.
Sterling McGee.
Yes.
You guys
Wow.
got to check it out. It's
Okay, well, we will.
And
Thank
he
you
would
for
play
sharing.
multiple instruments with he would tie things around his ankles, and he would beat on the, wooden, plank.
Wow.
He was amazing. Both of them.
Wow.
Not Fibber McGee.
No.
No, it was definitely Sterling, and I think it's McGee. And the story is interesting. How the young white guy was dejected, and he had just broken up with his girlfriend, and he went up to Harlem, and he asked this guy Satan if he could play with him, and Satan looked like he was out of his mind, which he might have been, and he let him, and they performed. They toured Europe, and it was unbelievable. From the street, it started. And then he winds up in a nursing home, the old guy, for 5 or 7 years, and then gets revived again and goes to the New Orleans Jazz Festival.
Wait, he goes from the nursing home?
Yes.
New Orleans Jazz Festival?
The leader,
who's the agent?
This lady, she was famous. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. It's a great story.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
Oh, and one of the things that happened that was really nice, he wound up in a nursing home, right? And the general manager of the nursing home took a liking to him, and he couldn't even play the guitar for a while. He had a stroke, and the general manager started playing with him, and he took him to a local club, and the local musicians kind of took him in, and they found out who he was, and it was an honor to play with him. And then it evolved, and they brought the white guy back in, the guy named Adam. It's an amazing story.
Cool.
All right, I'll check it out. Hey, I have a question for Seth.
Oh, wait a minute.
Are you there, Seth, still?
Yeah.
I saw on your website that you had played, among the many people you played with, one was James Taylor. Now, did you play with James? Did you open for James? I'm kind of curious because he's definitely one of my heroes.
Yeah, it was well, Livingston was really a pretty formative mentor. We met at Berkeley, and then really when I dropped out of college was when I started opening for Livingston on the road. And that was kind of where he teaches stage performance at Berkeley.
Right.
Right.
But what it was I would open for him, and I would try to get through a sound check. I would just try. That was my goal, was just if I could maybe get monitors up, but I would never really get through it, because as soon as I'd start playing, he would zero in and he'd be like, you know what, I'm hearing your melody, and it's a little sloppy. Don't slide.
Liv, it's a sound check.
Totally. But he is ruthless, and he is so focused on the clarity of community. Like from the moment you walk on stage, if I need to look at my guitar in order to plug it in, I need to practice.
I know.
Vance.
Do you know Seth? I'm sure you know Vance Gilbert.
Of course. Yeah.
My favorite. I mean, he does a wonderful performance workshop too, and he's a good friend, and I just love how he does that little bit where he takes the guitar and like pretends he's like, this is what not to do, and he's like, turning it over and like looking for the sound hole. Yeah. He's like, oh, there it is. Like,
don't do this.
Right.
It's so good.
Know where the sound hole is. Be cool.
It was a gathering at the Charles Hotel for a fundraiser. That we got to share.
How cool!
Great. It was really, really wonderful.
That's great.
Yeah, James is the best.
Saw
him. Actually, we were on the East Coast, and I took Alice to a show. It was James and Bonnie in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And of course, James with his all-star band, just ridiculous, and
amazing.
The sound was wonderful. And Bonnie and her band were great, and actually introduced Alice to Bonnie, or Bonnie to Alice, either way. and it was quite an
Very
evening.
special evening.
That was
I've
such
become
a wonderful tour. I saw them at Tango,
Yeah.
and
Oh, cool.
amazing. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say I've become a huge fan of James's newer stuff lately in a way that I didn't. Freebo introduced me to his record October Road, which is just one of my favorite records,
Brilliant
maybe top
record.
5 period. I mean, it's so stunning, and I knew his classic stuff, forever, but I just never paid attention to his later records. And I'm so glad that you introduced me to that, because I just think of him as an absolute, complete genius in a way that I didn't really fully understand. And he's so soulful and funky and like also so clean and precise. It's just like such an amazing combination.
Well, and Alice and Seth, to me, he personifies what we were talking about earlier, that is about excellence, the pursuit of excellence. You just to get better and better at what you do and learn more and more. And he is so much better now than he was back then. He was great back then. He's just superb now.
He knows every Jerome Kern song now, and every Kobe Carmichael song. I mean, the dude. I mean, that whole family just has really spent their life learning the Great American Songbook. In addition to making, standards records and all the things that you do in the business of making records to make money, but they're really students of lyric writing and songcraft, which is such a special thing. It's the thing that I loved about this world, was being with songcrafters.
Yeah,
definitely.
I would just want to mention our winner for tonight before I forget.
we have a winner in the contest.
Our winner, I hope he's still here.
Lest you've forgotten.
Yes, David Schulman, you are the winner tonight, and you are actually in the Zoom, which is so fun.
That's great.
So congratulations, David. I don't know if you're still there. I
He's
see
there,
your
but his
name. I don't
picture's
see your
not there.
face anymore. I hope you heard that, but there
There
you
he
are.
is.
David, you won the cable and the t-shirt. Wait, we can't hear you.
You got to unmute.
Hi.
I'm happy. Thank you.
Finally.
Are you going to get a guitar cable or a mic cable?
Haven't decided yet.
Well, David, I think you have my contact info. Would you just send me a message and just remind me to get you the information you need? That would be great.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Will do.
thank you.
Will do.
All right.
So, do you have anything else, Alice?
I think we're good. I think that's it.
Everybody good? You good, Seth?
Oh, do we have one more hand? Are we okay?
Joe want to say
or
something?
Hakmoni, do you want to say something?
Where's Hakmoni? I don't see him.
I see him right in the middle. It's going to be a quickie.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you to please give my email address to Brandon. I want to contact him about some technical stuff. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you can actually
in fact,
just.
why don't you put it in the
Yeah,
chat,
why don't
and
you write in the
Brandon
chat
can
to
see
him?
that, and nobody's going to troll you. I promise.
Okay. I was just thinking maybe you could give it to him. Anyhow.
Oh, he's
Thank you.
actually listening right now, so he knows now.
That's awesome.
Hakmoni, I just messaged you privately in the chat. You can just respond to it, and it'll only come to me. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to talk with you.
Okay,
all right.
great.
Yeah, no problem.
And thank you for tuning in from Israel, Hakmoni. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for
All right.
being
Good to
here.
see you.
Selling Yomot Smooth, so we've been partying all night long.
Whoa,
Independence
cool.
Day.
Sounds great.
All right.
Well, happy Independence Day. All right, everybody. Seth Glier, thank you. Everybody go sign up for his Patreon and support his weekly shows, and maybe we'll see you out there in the real world, Seth, at Madhumita's house.
Thanks for this invitation. Yeah, it was good to spend the night with you guys.
You too,
thanks
man.
for being
Pleasure.
here. We so appreciate your time and your songs and your stories and your openness. That's what we try to do on this show. So you really brought that warmth and creative energy, and we thank you for that.
Well, thanks, guys. All right, you guys take care of each other.
Okay.
And Seth, thanks
Well,
for filling in the technical difficulties in the beginning. You did a yeoman job. I mean, we just gave us a chance to get it together. Not exactly hi-fi, but it worked.
I'm a lounge piano player in my heart of hearts.
It was match made in heaven. All right, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll
Tune
see you
in for
next
the
week.
two of us next week.
Yeah.
We'll have some fun.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you, Seth.